Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Speaking Life with Melinda Evans. We're so happy you decided to join us today. We are here to uplift, encourage, and build a platform that will bring about total health, total growth. So we're so happy you're here. So come on in, come on in, come on in. You are welcome to our show. Was playing the video. The video? Hello. Pause. Good evening and welcome to our show. We're so happy you decided to join us today. Today we will be discussing menopause, that word that every woman hates to hear. I know in my home, they never really discussed menopause with us. They only talked about hot flashes. So everyone's looking for hot flashes, looking for hot flashes. When am I going to get the hot flash? When am I going to get the hot flash? But Lord and behold, menopause has a lot more to do with just a hot flash. There's more to it than a hot flash. Today we are here and we're going to speak with Dr. Rashida Ali. She is here to give us insights. She is here to answer any questions that you may have for those that are going through. We want this to be an educational podcast tonight. So feel free to ask questions, get involved, and we're just going to dissect this great word, menopause. So coming to the stage right now, we have Dr. Rashida Ali. Dr. Rashida Ali, come on now. Come on now. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have
I'm
you.
happy to be here.
Have a seat. What you gonna say?
What are they going to say? What I say is a response.
Every time I see you, you always have something good to say.
Good.
That's why I'm asking you, what are you gonna say?
Well, you can can kick it off. Where do you want me to start?
Talk about I need a fan.
Oh, that's a good place to start. I'm glad you said that because I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to talk about I need a fan.
So menopause. Menopause just is a change of life from womanhood to next phase of life. I started a menopausal journey and I didn't know what it was. Like Miss Evans said, families don't talk about this. You don't know what it is. And menopause, pause from the man. Okay. So when I first started menopause, I was living in Arizona, and this was right before I started. And I had a girlfriend, and she used to teach me this hand game she and her sisters played when they were young. And they're just like, I'm hot. I don't need a fan. I need a man. Right. Okay. So 30 years later, that little chant changed. I'm hot. I don't need a man. I need a fan. So I started this menopausal journey at 46 years old, and I had recently gotten married, and I was married to a minister, and I had 3 children. He had 2. I had a new baby and whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm fanning. I'm hot. I'm irritable. It's just like, oh, this is not me, because normally I am the person you saw that walked out here. But I'm hot. I'm irritable, and things started happening. Hair started falling out. It's miserable. But by the time we finish, you're going to learn the beauty of it. So I said to my husband, who was a minister of 30, 40, 50 something years, I said, God hates women. You know, when we're young women, we have to go through this change of life from little girls to teenagers. And we go through this menstrual cycle, which is a hot mess and another story. And then it's woman's work is never done. We have to take care of the children, take care of the husband, take care of the home, work, 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 work. Woman's work is never done. So after years of helping everybody else develop, then husband has got his career, he's straight. Children graduated from college, married, they're straight. House, everything is good. So we can say, it's me time. So now I can go to college, I can get my career, I can take care of myself, I can do my gardening, whatever it is that we could not do as women with families. But all of a sudden, you have all this feeling and stuff coming over you that makes you feel miserable, and you don't feel like doing any of those things that you thought you would be able to do at this stage in your life. So I said to my minister husband, I'm about 2 seconds from cursing God. And I am a woman of God. And I was raised in the church from little girl, and from the church to the mosque for 53 years now. And I'm like, God, you hate women. You know, what is it? And I said, I've got a speck. I just have a speck of strength left not to be cursing God, right? And so my minister husband said, well, it's for you to pray to God and to see why he put this physiology into the woman. And so I did that. I had to pray, and God gave me an answer. And the answer is what I would like to share with you all this evening. And it ended up being a 9-year journey. And I documented the 9-year journey that ended up in a book that Miss Evans may share with you. It's called Help, I Need a Fan, a rite of passage from woman to goddess, from woman to goddess. And so, go ahead. Okay, so this is my introduction. Then I will drop the mic after this introduction. But she kicked off the introduction with this. Okay,
like to show me up one. Okay.
So anyway, I prayed, and I was given that menopause. So God, and the book starts in the Genesis. God created man. Man was lonely. He created woman for man, for the comfort man, and for procreation. So God created woman first for himself, and then to the man. So the initial answer I got was, okay, daughter, this is God. Job well done. Job well done. You got the husband, you got the children, you got... Pause from the man and come back to me now. Menopause. Pause from the man and come back to me. Okay, rite of passage from woman to goddess, being filled with the essence of God. So goddess is being filled with the essence of God. So now, that's your question? Go ahead and ask it.
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
You're doing a good job.
Oh,
I get my questions
okay.
in. I just said you touching. I know you. We gotta.
Yes, ma'am. So, okay. So we can't, as women, go back to God funky. Look what we did by going through life, raising husband, raising children, raising this. It wasn't easy. We had to learn cuss words. We had to get down and dirty. We had to do everything to get to life, to a mature stage of life. So to go back to God, he's got to purify us to come back to him. We can't go back to God all funky and nasty. And so what does heat do? Menopause, hot flashes. Heat purifies. Water purifies. So it's water and heat that purifies us The book subtitle, A Rite of Passage from Woman to Goddess. So the heat and the water purify us and get us ready for this journey back to God. Bloop. It's yours, darling.
That sums up my question. I was going to ask you, what makes menopause a rite of passage? But you just summed it up. Just pretty much summed that question up.
It's a rite of passage. Passage meaning journey. It's a journey, and it's an experience that you really have to go through. So it's a passage and it's a journey. Mm-hmm.
And another question I wanted to ask you is, how does menopause change the makeup of the body chemically and physically?
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go. First of all, from the heat and the water, it dries up everything. It dries your skin. It dries your scalp so your hair doesn't get the nutrition it needs. It dries your lady parts. And everything starts to kind of like deteriorate or go downhill. So chemically, your body loses estrogen, and the loss of estrogen is what makes the hot flashes, and the hormonal change makes you irritable, and all kind of things started happening like that, just from the heat and the loss of estrogen. And
can you explain to us when you said what it means when you say everything must change?
Well, everything must change. Nothing stays the same. And that's including us as people and us as women. You know, we can't be young and vibrant and energetic and all that forever from beginning to end. So it's a change of life. And in the book, and I don't want to divulge everything that's in the book because it's really a good read, I think. I speak about when I was a model, and I had to, back then you had to be a Twiggy, and you know, thick wasn't in, there was no such thing as PHAT, it was just FAT, and no, you cannot be a model. You had to be a Twiggy. So I weighed 100 pounds, and I liken that to a rosebud. So you get a rosebud, and when we get, any woman will testify, if we get a dozen of roses and they're just buds, we just watch them and we wait for the buds to open up, because that's when the fragrance comes out. So little girls and young women before menopause are like rosebuds. You know, they're pretty, but they're all knotted up. So with this menopause rite of change, you start blossoming and you become a full-blown rose. And then you see all the pretty colors inside, and you smell the smells and smells. So everything changes. So it's a change from one destination to another. But the reason I came to the show today, because this is really not me. I don't like being in front of cameras. So, but I came because God gave me a wonderful message for women. And that is the beauty that comes from menopause. So I will answer questions like medical questions and things like that, but that's not my purpose, and that's not the purpose, the message that God gave me for you. So the body changes. The hair falls out, the skin dries up, this drops, that dries up, your temperament changes, all of that. But there's gold at the end of the rainbow. There's a pot of gold, and there's beauty that emerges. And so getting back to the journey and rite of passage, it's a rite of passage, and it's a transformation. And it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. So once you hear this evening the goodness of menopause, because our parents don't talk about it, they sweep it under the rug, because menopause is viewed as something bad for the woman. You're losing your beauty, you're losing your hair, you're losing your muscle tone, you're losing your sex drive, all that. That's one of the reasons in days gone by, and maybe now still, men would have this reputation of when their wives got a certain age, they would go get young girls. But that's because the menopause, everything dries up. You don't want sex. It hurts. It's dry. You don't want to be touched. It's hot. I remember telling my husband, I put the sheet here and I'm like, your hand on my leg feels like a hot iron. No, don't kiss my neck. Just a breath on the neck would just give you a hot flash. And for those of you who have not reached this stage or do not know what menopause is, it's you get hot, and it starts from your feet and it goes from your feet, and you can just feel this heat coming up to your body. When I feel this heat, I would tell my children, run to your father before I hurt you, because it's like an explosion and you get irritable and it's like you're trying to figure out what's happening. And like in the church, think about in the church, we have women with fans and you're there going, oh, Jesus, oof, oof. Okay, they fan it away, but there's beauty.
So is there any steps that you can give the audience that would help them with, the change? Steps that they can take, things they can do to help out with the change?
Yes. Not necessarily steps, because steps are 1, 2, 3. But there are a lot of things that you can do to minimize the change.
There's no cure for menopause. So every woman must go through it.
It's natural. So, it's something that's implanted in us. So it's natural. Some women don't have it as bad. If you have children and you have a lot of children, it's statistically you don't have menopause as bad because your body is used to hormonal changes, et cetera, et cetera. Women who have no children go through it worse. But the first thing is to accept it, that God gave us this and he gave it to us for a reason. And if God gave us this and it's for a reason, then what is the reason? And that's what the book is about, and that's what I'm here for. Okay, a purifying journey, again, back to God. So what you can do, what I found the quickest thing, and I'm a holistic doctor, I'm natural, I'm not about pills and things. But again, my husband, we were going to a church, a Muslim convention, a mosque convention that we have every year. And it was just like getting packed and 3 children, and I was frustrated and I was hot and I was having hot flashes. And I said to my minister husband, and where's my veil? I should have worn my veil tonight. My Muslim sisters are going to be, she didn't have her hair covered. Okay, I'm going to put my veil on.
That's right. Too much. You just too much, girl.
I said
too much. I can't help it. I know
I'm too extra.
You is always extra. That's why I'm just letting you have your fame, honey. So
anyway,
you always.
I'm gonna drop the mic after this. I said to my Muslim husband,
too much.
Shut the F up. And I didn't even use profanity. I didn't even use the SHD word. And I said, there's something wrong with me. And I found out that it was menopause. So I went to, and I'm answering your question, by the way. I'm about what you can do, the steps. I'm answering the questions. I'm just going around Robin Hood's barn. Okay, or Rashid Ali's barn. Anyway, so they gave me a pill. When I went to the convention, I went to the nurse's station. They said, oh, we know, and they gave me a pill. The pill that the doctors give you for menopause, sisters, is mare urine. It's horse pee, okay? That's what the doctors will give you. And sister was saying a lot of women were suffering. They were giving them all kind of chemicals and everything. Chemicals is not the answer. Pills, not the answer. But at the time I was going through menopause, I understood, because we're kosher, we don't eat pig. At the time they said it was horse pee. I said, I don't care. I'll take pig doo-doo right now. That's how horrible it was. But to help you, the steps that you can take to help you, first of all, relax and submit. God, submit to why God gave it to us. So I answered a little bit of that for purification, to go back to God. He's selfish. He wants us back. He gave us to the man and the children, but he wants us back again. He's not finished with us. God ain't finished with us. And so I took the Premarin for a while, the horse pee, but I'm a holistic person. So after I got myself a little bit straightened out, I found out a couple things. Ice in your hand. you're asking steps that will relieve this. Ice in the hand takes the hot flash away immediately. Ice. Little fans, they have little portable sports fans. Yes. You can carry one of those around. Okay, that takes it away. You can actually carry a fan. Anybody who buys a book, I give them a fan. I'm hot, I don't need a man, I need a fan, so I give them fans with the book. There's herbs you can take. And I'm not here to prescribe, but over the counter is called estroven because your body is losing estrogen. So you want to replace the estrogen in your body to keep you from having these symptoms. So estroven is the natural form of estrogen, the chemicals that the doctors give you. You can buy it in the drugstore, estroven. It's made from herbs. It's all natural, and it keeps you from having the hot flashes. It keeps you from the drying out, the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you have the estroven, you have the fan, you have this church fan, you have relax. You have to relax yourself. And like this cup has ice in it. I don't even have ice, but this is the quickest thing to take a hot flash away. Put some ice in your hand and relax. Relax. And there's other things, natural things you can take like melatonin and just things for anxiety because stress and anxiety make it worse. But acceptance and knowing that it's a journey you're going through to get back to God. And if we have to walk over the burning coals, we do whatever we have to do to get back to be a goddess. It's not easy. All things of worth are trials, hard trials, and fire. And okay.
So can you speak on how menopause tears the family apart? Because I know a lot of families go through when the woman is in menopause. It brings about a lot of strife in the family.
Yes. First of all, your duty as a woman is challenged because you become tired and irritable and hot and angry, and your body is going through all these changes and you don't understand it. So your role as wife and mother, caretaker, is diminished. And the children are understanding it. My children were little. And so it impacts the family a lot. I was having a hot flash one day and I was in my daughter's room and she said something back to me like smart mouth. And I just took my hand on her dresser and I knocked everything off the dresser. And I'm like, oh, that felt good. And I knocked the other side off. So now my children are seeing me go berserk. Our children are seeing us, what's wrong with mommy? I heard my one daughter said, Daddy's nice, mommy's mean. Okay. And back in the day, women were actually, and when I say back in the day, I mean like some hundreds of years ago, maybe, or maybe not so, maybe earlier than that. Women were put in mental institutions because menopause wasn't known. Even science and doctors didn't know what it was. So when women started getting erratic and irrational and throwing things and cussing and this and this and this and this, they said, oh, she's insane. And they used to lock women up in institutions because of menopause. And again, men, oh, you don't want to have a marital relation with me? Okay, my husband told me, well, you're not giving it to me. You must be giving it to somebody. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm hot. I can't. So, okay, if it affects the children, it affects the husband. My minister husband took his way. I don't want to say that R word, but he did that. And he said to me, the Bible says that a woman is a man's tilth and he can enter whenever he pleases. And I said, well, I don't know what a tilth is, but whatever it is, I'm not. Okay. So we ended up getting divorced behind menopause, as a lot of people do. He didn't understand. He didn't want to understand, but I'm not going to down him for that because just as women are not taught about that, our husbands are not taught about that either. And there's a chapter in the book called For Husbands. so that the husbands can understand. Because my husband was a beautiful, sweet, nice man. But with me going crazy, and
And so with the craziness, is that when the chemicals is off?
Yes.
The chemical in the
Yes.
in the woman
Yes.
is off balance.
Yes.
So that's what makes her go.
Yes.
But seem like she's
Yes.
going crazy or
Yes.
she's having a nervous breakdown.
Yes.
Because we always see them diagnosing us. Well, I wouldn't say us because I haven't got that
Right.
stage yet. But they're always diagnosing women with having a mental breakdown or she snapped, and then they want to put you on all this anxiety medication and stuff like that. But I wanted to ask the question because I know in this day and time, I see a lot of women are experiencing anxiety with their menopause. Can you touch a little bit about the anxiety and why is the anxiety coming into play?
Yes, well, that's just a common anxiety is from number one, the not knowing, and the anxiety is from the change. And like you said, the chemical change. So that goes back to the estrogen. And when the body, that's another reason middle age spread. Women of a certain age, of a certain age, they started gaining weight. And they gain weight, it's called middle age spread at menopause time because estrogen is found in fat cells. So that's why women start gaining weight because they're losing. They're losing the estrogen, and the estrogen is a chemical change in your body that throws everything off balance. So the body starts picking up weight because we need the estrogen to stay balanced. Yeah. So
why is it so much in the belly area? Because I see it. I say you got a menopause belly. Is that because that's where most of the fat
cells,
the fat cells
regenerate more? Yeah, because see, we can have little tiny arms, little tiny legs, and around little in the middle. And oh no, excuse me,
too much.
Don't put me in front of the camera.
I had to have you here, though. I had to because this menopause thing.
It's wild.
It doesn't matter where I go.
Yes,
someone is being they're affected by the menopause. Right. I was in a grocery store and someone was saying they had to come in here and trying to get something because the lady was having a nervous breakdown, and their husband was trying to put her in a mental institution.
There you go. Okay,
sign her over to the city. And I was like, hold up.
Exactly.
She might not be crazy.
Exactly. She's not crazy. Exactly. Exactly. So it's to learn what's on the other side. So you lose your hair, you gain some weight, stuff dries up, your skin sags, your skin wrinkles, you're hot, you're irritable. But on the other side of this is a pot of gold, is a rainbow, because you get it all back. You get it all back. Your hair grows back, skin gets tight, you exercise, it goes away because your estrogen is back. Everything is pliable.
So estrogen comes back.
After you go through the change, everything comes back with a vengeance. Your sex drive comes back. Your everything comes back. You're like back to normal. On a higher level now, because it's not the little rosebud that you're waiting for to open up. It's a full-blown rose. The colors are showing, the beautiful fragrance. You have a sophistication that you didn't have when you were 21, because at 21, I couldn't be like I am now. I couldn't have said the things that I'm saying up here, because at 21, you don't have the courage to say it. You don't have the sophistication that you have once you go through menopause. You have just more of everything. You have more grace, more charm. Guess what? The menstrual cycle's gone. That one we cursed about, it's gone. You're free now. You don't have to worry about having babies. So you're liberated sexually. And it's just a wonderful thing on the other side. And then what makes it a rite of passage from woman to goddess? Again, a goddess being a woman who's filled with the essence of God. You know why? Because to get through this menopause, Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oof. You're constantly calling on God because it's not the pills that get you through. It's not it's God. It's the very essence of the Creator calling us back to Him that takes us through this trial. And you can go through the trial with grace, knowing that, oh, okay, I got to go through this to get to my Lord, to get to my master, to get to my maker on the football field. Boom, boom. First and 10. Ooh, next 10. Ooh, bow, wow, back tackle. You have to go through a lot of pain and pain and pain to get to the goal line. So as women of God and women not of God, you have to submit. You have to submit to the reason we have this thing called menopause. And again, remember, menopause. Just pause from the man. God says, pause from the man. Come back to me. I'm not finished with you yet. So then he gives us more of himself and more understanding of life and more understanding of everything for graciousness, for goodness, for a joy for living, for joie de vivre, the joy for living. So we have all of that, and it makes us now more wise and more calm and more prepared that we can go back to that husband and we can go back to those children. And they're like, oh, wow, mom's back. Yay.
But let me ask you this. Because we do know that, menopause sometimes does not, if you don't have the right spouse to walk through this and to understand and to learn the journey with you, sometimes you end up in divorce.
Yes.
So you have a lot of women that go through all of this. They go through raising the kids. They go through doing everything for the husband. They, have the nervous breakdowns, have the temper tantrums.
Yes.
You would have to call it that. And now they standing and looking divorce in the face because the husband or the wife, for that matter, cannot seem to be equally yoked, should I say, through the journey. So can you give some of the women, because my heart sometimes, it's going out to some of the women, because you say after all of this, there is a rainbow at the end and you get out of this back. But what do the married woman do when she's sitting and she's divorced? She has nothing, she's at the end of the rainbow and she got everything back, but she's divorced at this point. So can you say a little something to the women that may have had to go through divorce because of the menopause, because they didn't have the right husband, because they weren't equally yoked to walk down this journey, didn't have no one that would understand her, and she ended up lonely. So what does a divorced woman do when she get everything back, but her boy ass is gone?
Well, you answered it actually when you said she married the wrong husband. Okay. And you said that she's looking divorce in the face.
And I say that, not to cut you off, I say that because just like some of the women like me in my home, they never taught us about menopause. They never taught us what to expect.
Exactly.
They never told us any of that. And so could that have been the same thing for the husband? He didn't know,
exactly.
Didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
Wasn't taught about
exactly. It. So you're not looking divorce in the face. You're looking God in the face. Looking God in the face. And if you're married to the wrong man and he leaves you, even though it's lack of knowledge, if he leaves you, he's not the right man. When you do vows as a married person, it's for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do we part. So if he leaves you, he's not the right husband anyway. He's not the right husband. And when God closes one door, you get a divorce, your husband leaves you, honey, he opens another one. It's like, ooh, okay. So it's not so bad.
It's a rainbow, and
it is. You want to know my rainbow?
I told you she's too much.
My pot
You
of
told
gold.
me you was gonna behave. You told me you was gonna behave. You was gonna be good.
I'm being good, and you
Dr.
know that.
Rashida.
I'm being good.
Oh, she being a little.
I just have to be me. I gotta be me. I gotta be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My husband was 24, 25 years older than me or something. And he couldn't see me through this thing because I wouldn't be a tilt, whatever tilt is. Okay. So I'm divorced and I have 3 children and I leave with my children. And in this divorce process, I was depressed and I was just, I just looked a mess. And I got up one Saturday. Well, I went to a therapist, because we got to find out what this is about. And it was a Hispanic man. He was in a wheelchair. And he said, "You're not clinically depressed. You're situationally depressed. But if you don't get out of this, you're going to be clinically depressed." It's a depressing thing. And I didn't have, my husband wasn't enough. He didn't understand. I'm not blaming him. He just didn't know. So he couldn't uphold me because he didn't know. So I'm talking to all you men out there, all you brothers out there, support your woman because she's going to come back to you, a goddess. She's not going to be a sister girl, a roundaway girl, your ride or die chick. She's going to be a goddess. You say you want a queen, a level above, because she's going to come back from God to you, filled with God, filled with the essence of God. So don't let her leave you. But my goal at the end of the frame. So my husband was like 20 something years older than me. He left me with 3 children. And I got up one morning. We had an argument. I just go out. I love thrifting and antiquing and all that. And I went to an antique store and I'm building a house because I'm making my preparations. Like the therapist said, don't just walk away. You got to get yourself together. So on the low, I started building a house and getting my little, and I went in the store and I met a man. Oh my gosh, in the strangest of places. And to make the long story short, when I got the divorce, this man was like energizing and, interest. And I'm like, no, I'm married. I'm in the process of divorce. He's like, holla at a brother when you get the divorce, right? So the day I got the divorce papers, I'm like, holla. And I ended up being engaged to him. So one door opens, God opens another. My husband was 24 years older. Holla back boy was like 16 years younger. Okay. And I saw my husband one day and he said, you must really love that young boy. Your whole body has changed. The menopause fat was gone. The hair was back. I was back. And he said, yeah, your whole body has changed. And he said, yeah, I see you got that face work you were talking about. Because in Florida, it was Nip Tuck. That's when the movie Nip Tuck came out. And I was talking about Nip Tuck. Can I have some money for Botox and whatever? And I said, honey, the only thing that was lifted on this face is the stress you had me under. So that's the pot of gold, ladies. So let your husband leave you. Let him leave you high and dry. Because when you get liquid again, because when God pours into you and you come back, he got something waiting for you. So you get a divorce, your husband leaving, bye-bye. Good riddance to bad rubbish.
You is too much. So when we would like to take a couple, could we take a few? Is there any questions in the audience?
Please.
We don't want to,
Please.
overlook the audience if they may have, if there's any, questions. If anyone have any questions,
please.
No comment.
Oh God, we listen.
They comment and saying good information, and then they saying that it's good resources.
Knowledge.
Savon Stone, she was just saying that she's 73 years old and she's still having
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. I'm so happy to hear from her. She's a church sister friend of mine. She's a nice lady, Miss Levon. I'm so glad you tuned in. She asked what?
She said she's 73 and she's still having hot flashes.
Yes.
To be still having hot flashes, and I'm
Yes.
assuming at that age 73.
Yes.
Should be have done
So they
Yes,
say
yes and no.
73, she's
Right.
still going through the hot flash.
Everyone goes through menopause differently. As I said in the beginning, some women don't have menopause. There have been some women that say they don't have it. They may not have it as bad, but they have some form. Something is going to happen in this change of life. But for women who, like Miss Lavon, is stress, and it is normal because I'm saying it's normal, but there is no normal really. But women who are 70 are still be menopausal. They still can, have hot flashes. I had a neighbor in Miami. She was in her late 70s, and in the summer heat of Miami, she used to walk around with a towel on her neck. I'm like, what is it? She said, I'm having a hot flash. I'm like, a hot flash? And I was like 40 something at the time, at the beginning of hot flash. And I'm like, you're 70? I've got to go through this thing this long? But it took me 9 years. So from 46 to almost 56.
So is there a certain age? There's no certain age. It can go as long as it needs to go.
And we as women, we have a hand in how it goes. Because again, if you submit, excuse me. Excuse me. If you submit to the journey and don't fight it, it's easier. And if you take whatever little tools you might get here, if you calm yourself, if you exercise, if you have to stay active. And one thing I didn't know then, that I know now, that the solution is in the problem. So if things are drying out, like as we sweat, and you don't have to drink more water, you have to rehydrate yourself. You don't want to have sex with your husband because it's hot and it hurts because it's dry. Just leave me alone. But guess what? That very thing helps you. If you have intercourse, it lubricates you. It will make things not dry. It takes away stress. So the very thing that you don't want can help you. So water to hydrate you. Yes, hydrate yourself and exercise and calm yourself. Listen to binaural music. It's healing music. BINURAL, binaural. You can look up binaural beats for menopause, binaural beats for hot flashes, but you have to calm yourself. Calm yourself, and remember ice. Ice is your friend, because those who are menopausal.
So you saying take the ice and put the ice in the palm of your hand and just close your hands with ice.
Just like that, and the ice will melt in your hand. It'll melt in your hand, and as the ice melts, the hot flash goes away. And I know there was a time when I was, and those who are menopausal, you take your clothes off, you put your clothes on. You take your clothes off, you put your clothes on. In the middle of the night, your pajamas, you got to change your pajamas, you put them back on, change, but then you just don't put them on, period. And one night I kept a bucket of ice by my bed, and I would try to dip a towel in the thing and do that. One night I just took the bucket of water and just the ice. So those are just tricks. The fan, the ice, relax. Don't worry, be happy. And know that there is treasure at the end of this thing. Know that you're going through this pain and through this trauma to get to God, to get to the Creator, to see what He has for you for the next phase of life. Because people think, and it has been thought through the ages of time, that menopause is when a woman is no good. She can't have children, her hair falling out, she getting fat, she tired, she old. Not so. Not so. There's a treasure that comes from the master, and that's called Goddess.
So, do we have any questions before I ask another question? Okay, go ahead. Speak a little loud so they can hear.
Okay, it's a guy. He said, those who are touched by this, how can they sow into this platform? They want to sow into
the platform. You can go to it's on there. Speaking Life. It's on there. Speaking Life with Melinda Evans. Is it a certain diet that we should be eating? Is there things we shall, or is there certain foods we should eat? Is it like when I say certain things to eat, is it things we should back up from, or things that we should be going towards to help us through with the, a diet, balanced diet to help?
I'm happy. That's a very good question. And I'm happy that you brought that up because everything is about what you eat. We are what we eat. Our food is our medicine. So, absolutely. Because if your body is now gaining fat for estrogen, then there's certain foods that contain estrogen. You're having hot flashes, you may want to back off of hot food, like spicy food. I never did because I like spicy food. So maybe that's why I suffered so much. But you could back up off of like spicy foods, drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, don't eat sugar, so it's just basic good eating. And I don't use that word diet because it has die in there. How to eat to live. So just eat better, eat natural food, eat fruits, eat vegetables. Don't stop with the sugar, stop with the white flour, all those things, the grease, all that gives you stress. So yeah, just eat a natural diet. You don't have to be plant-based, but even like if you're a meat eater, eat meat that's doesn't have hormones and chemicals and
So
don't
like
eat.
chicken and stuff
Yeah,
like
you can
that have
eat
a lot
that.
of.
Yeah, but eat what doesn't, because when the farmers take the food to market, the animals, they want them to be fat. They get more money. So they inject them with hormones, they inject them with antibiotics to make them fat. And then when you eat the food, it still has the hormones in it. So it's going to blow you up. So eating is a very big part of not only sustaining yourself through the menopausal journey, but through sustaining yourself through life. You can live forever. You are what you eat. Yeah. And if you eat a lot of junk, then it tears your body down. It tears your cells down. It gives you diabetes. Diabetes, they used to call it sugar diabetes. They took the sugar out because the sugar industry still wants to sell sweet things. So sugar diabetes, high blood pressure, it all comes from bad eating. So you mentioned in the beginning, can it be cured? It's not necessarily something can be cured because it's a physiology or biology from the creator, but you can go through it in an easier way by how you treat your body, by what you eat and by what you drink, and by calming yourself down. Yes.
And for some of the people that's dealing with the anxiety part, I wanted to touch on because I know the doctors are trying to get a lot of people on a lot of medication for the just for the anxiety alone. So, so many people on this medicine, on that medicine, and they're young. They're thinking they're going crazy. The menopause is bringing on anxiety, and that's very difficult to deal with. Is there anything that you can give us or give the audience or that will help with the anxiety so that they don't have to go on that medication?
Yes. First of all,
Please, if you will.
exercise. Exercise. Exercise takes away stress. The binaural music that I mentioned takes away stress. And remember, this is a spiritual journey. Why did God give us this? It's a spiritual journey. So the number one way to deal with the stress is to God. Seek refuge from anxiety and grief, lack of strength and laziness. Seek refuge. Ask God. So don't just say, God, cool me off. God, take this anxiety. Seek refuge from anxiety. Yes.
Deep. Yes, because this you think about menopause, but I really didn't think about it in that aspect until, tonight. Like you go through so much in life, you carrying a lot.
Yes.
And it's like you go through, you're losing loved ones, the kids getting grown, they're going off to college, different stuff, different stages of life. You learning this and you learning that. You learning what you was taught at home wasn't really how you're supposed to do a lot of things. So, you're just trying to get it right. And going through menopause, like you said, it's a journey.
It is.
Because you go through so much.
Yes.
But I'm just so happy you said it's a rainbow.
It is. It is. There's goodness at the end. I can attest to that. My hair was down my back and I was actually bald. I lost all my hair. I gained 50 pounds. My skin color changed. It was all gray and dry and everything. It all comes back. It comes back. It comes back. But how you go through it is how it ends up. Because if you yes, because if you don't realize that it is a journey and it's a journey to God and it's going to be rough, who said it would be easy? It's not easy coming out of the birth canal, right? But if you go through it and know that you're going to come out as a beautiful, powerful, elegant, confident woman, and he gives it all back to us tenfold. Scriptures say tenfold. He gives it back. So it's a wonderful journey. And the book doesn't speak about, even though I'm a doctor, I'm a holistic doctor, and I can tell you what medicine in the form of herbs and food and stuff, but it's a spiritual journey. So you got to get within your spiritual self and just know that it's going to be wonderful. It's a wonderful journey. And you got to suffer. You got to suffer to get to the master. You got to suffer. But it'll be all right.
And I know there's, menopause is not for men, but at the same time, and it's just for the sake of my men, because we do have men in the audience, and thank you for coming and joining us this evening. And maybe some men that may be watching, because men don't actually go through menopause, but they do go through
menopause. There is a male menopause, guys.
They do go through something
yes.
too. For some of them that may be going through their stage of what we go through as known to be menopause, but they go through a few things as well.
Change of life.
Something you can tell the men tonight, that may be going through their menopause, because it's not called menopause, but they also go through. And I think
let him answer. I have an answer, but let him answer.
Speaking from a male point of view, what would you tell a man who does not know how to communicate, but is there to see them through that? If that makes sense.
It does.
So can I integrate that for the audience?
Yes.
So the gentleman in the audience here, he asks, how can a man, say it again?
What would you say to a man that doesn't know how to communicate, but wants to be there, that actually wants to be present, wants to encourage you?
Yeah.
So so he wants information on how a man can communicate and be present for the wife
and
supportive while the wife is going through menopause.
Well, that's real easy. Thank you for that question. Cook. Don't make her have to go in the kitchen so much. Do the laundry. Do things to relieve her stress. Or rub her feet. Brush her hair that's falling out and tell her it's beautiful, right? Just encourage her verbally and let her know that no matter you're going through this thing, you're beautiful to me. I love you. It's okay. We're going to get there. And most of all, back the heck up off of her and let her body do what it's doing naturally. When she's like, get away, I don't want to be bothered. Don't be telling her about she's your tilt. Back it up. Back it up. Just back it. That's right. just let her body do what it does naturally. When a woman has her monthly cycle, you back it up and you wait for it. This too shall pass. So with menopause, back it up and just encourage her and make her feel comfortable. And whatever it is that's stressing her, help her with her stress. Carry more of the load, because women carry a lot, because we take care of the husband and children, and we go to work, and we come home and we do the laundry and we cook and we woman's work is never done. Because men come home and they, hey babe, no, switch roles. So just lighten her burden and continue to encourage her and tell her it's okay. God got you. I got you. We're going to get through this thing, because the man has a reward at the end too. He gets to enjoy all of the benefits because God gave her to you and God takes her from you. But if a man is a man of God, he's going to realize, like we say, our children are not our children. They come through us, but they are not ours. They belong to God. The woman was given to us, but we don't belong to you. We belong to the master. And if he calls us back and you're a good man, it's like, okay, because when he sends her back, oh, wow. So that's how you can be supportive and help her. Yeah. Your question?
I have a question.
Yes, I have a question.
Speak a little loud.
I don't know how deep it's. What makes it, or why is it so sacred, significant, and symbolic that it had to be the blood?
Can you repeat that question?
What makes menopause so significant that it has to be a blood issue?
Oh, we're not menopause, but what makes, I guess, the essence of women, and because we're talking about menopause,
yes,
and the ending of the menses with blood, but initially, originally, why was it so significant and so important that
I got you.
We had to shed that blood.
I got you.
For so many years.
Yes.
Of course, the blood is supposed to be important in the body, and
yes,
we're losing it on a monthly basis.
Yes.
So many years.
Yes.
And we're not getting it back.
Right.
We're not getting transfusion.
Right. I don't know if you could hear the sister's question, but she's saying the blood issue. Why is it that women have to lose blood from a young age? Because blood is a nutrient and the body needs the blood to survive. And why is the blood, I guess what it goes back to the blood of Christ, and how does this all relate and why the blood? Okay. Well, let's go back to the teen years, that shedding of the blood every month. With that blood comes impurities. So that blood is releasing the body of purities. And when the body releases of the blood, then new blood is made. So it's a purification. So the shedding of the blood is a purification process in and of itself. The same way the sweating and the heat is a purification process. Did I answer your question? Oh, thank you.
We have one more question.
Going through menopause, does it knock off like your pH balance?
The question is, when going through menopause, does it cut off your pH balance?
It knock it off.
Or knock it off? Okay.
Not only does menopause knock off your pH balance, it knocks off all your balance. Your psyche, your thinking, your feelings, your emotion, your mineral level, your pH level. It's just all of that. But it's like shedding the old, and it's a rebirth. It's a transformation. In the book, I call it's a transforming journey. So in the book, I don't talk about all this thing. You don't hear me talk about the hair coming out and the fat and the this and the that and that. No, I talk about the beauty that emerges. So it's a transformation process. God gives the man, the woman, she procreates, she does her work and everything she's supposed to do. And God says, daughter, you did a wonderful job. Come to me. I will give you rest. I will give you peace. I will give you a new birth. Okay? So it's a new birth. So we go to the master and he takes away all that pain, replenishes us, and gives us everything we need to come back, not as a queen, but as a goddess.
So we want to thank you for coming. I want to share a little bit, Ms. Rashida, my ghost. But I want to talk about the book. The book is an awesome read. It's called Help, I Need a Fan. And this book, it will help you on your journey. The book is on Amazon, but we would like you to purchase it through Ms. Rashida Ali. We will put the information in the bio, and the book is
$15.
$15.
It's sold out on Amazon.
And the book right now is sold out on Amazon. They cannot keep this book available, because that's how quick it sells out. It sells out. So once you see it, you have to get it. But if you go to Amazon and you do not, and it's sold out, you can still buy the book from Dr. Rashida.
Don't order it on Amazon because they won't have it for a while.
You can still get the book. And today, Miss Rashida, for coming to the show, Speaking Life with Melinda Evans is going to purchase 7 books. We are going to bless 7 people with the book.
Yay.
I don't know how you want to. Well, first of all, everyone in the audience that's here will get a book. We will give you a book for your wife. We'll get a book. The people in the audience are going to get a book. So we're going to buy books for the audience. But if we want to give out books for our Facebook and our YouTube audience, I don't know how you want to give the books to the audience, but we have a few that we can give away for free. If you're interested in a book, if you can say me, and I'll just go by whoever says free book, or I would like a free book first. We will go ahead and give out 4 books, 4 free books. We'll give 4 free books. And
anyone else interested in purchasing a book?
Anyone else?
That's okay.
Information.
House of Raw Books. I don't even know my phone number. Look in the book. No, it's not in that book.
I'll put it in the bio after the show, how you can purchase the book. It's a good read. It will help you. It will give you understanding. I read the book. Well, I have already read the book. Said I read it, but I already read the book. It's a good read, and it will help you. It will give you more insight on what your body is going through, what to expect, and how to get through it. Help, I Need a Fan. But we want to. Oh, and also, let me tell you about this book. She ain't gonna let me live that down. Her book has beat out President Clinton's book and Alicia Keys' book. She has, like I said, her book cannot stay on Amazon shelf. So if you need the book, you can also come back to our platform. We will link the information in the bio. But anyone that would like a free book, I need you to go ahead and put in the comments me. Just put me, and the first me's that I see, I will messenger you or reach out to you and get your address, and I will send the books out to you.
And it'll have an autograph.
And it will be autographed by Dr. Rashida Ali. So, Dr. Rashida,
yes, ma'am.
I would like to thank you. I know you don't do this. I know you don't like to come.
But I like it now. This is my first time. I enjoyed it. Bring me back.
You just too much, girl. I don't know you too much. But I am so happy you came. It means so much to me to have you here. I know you have a busy schedule. I know you have a lot of other engagements that your schedule is just so busy and all over the place.
It's been my pleasure.
But I am so happy you found the time to be with us today, to educate our audience today on menopause, with so many women going through that just don't know what to do, and so many doctors diagnosing us with different things and putting us in mental hospitals and putting us on all this mental medication. We just want to thank you and thank you.
Yes,
for the education.
Don't take the medicine, sisters. I have a website. You have my website?
Yes, you can put your website, how you can get in touch with Dr. Rashida Ali.
Naturally yours, holisticcare.com. Naturally yours, holisticcare.com. And on there, you will see my phone numbers to my office and my cell. Please call on my cell if you're interested in the book. And if you mention that you heard it on this podcast, then you get a discount. I don't know how much of a discount I'll give you, maybe half price. Yeah, because I had fun.
Yes.
Yeah, so naturally yours, holisticcare.com.
Yeah, so we'll have the information in the bio for the book. and for the natural hair. We'll put everything in the bio. And I'll put it on my page, Speaking Life with Melinda Evans. It'll be on the page. We'll put it on the Facebook page so they'll be able to always get in contact with you. We want to thank you for joining us today.
I thank you.
This is all of our time. I hate to end it because my girl, we didn't get me like we supposed to.
I know you have to have me back.
Stay good tonight. I had to hold her back because this lady, honey, she's too much. I want to let everybody stand up, Dr. Rashida. This lady.
Oh, she's getting ready to do this.
She would. It's
okay. She's telling. She's getting ready to give you the pot of gold.
The pot of gold. This is the pot of gold, and you would not believe this young lady is 80 years age. Well, just about to be 80 years old. And this is what the pot of gold looks like. With all her pretty hair is back.
Thank you.
I want to thank you all, and we thank you for coming, and we thank coming on and watching us. We thank our guests for coming tonight. It's always a happy moment to see our friends out. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
See you next Saturday.
Thank you.